Broadcasting from the 72nd floor of First Canadian Place in the heart of Toronto's financial district, this is #Finance, the podcast that profiles innovative entrepreneurs and thought leaders operating in the public markets. Presented to you by the CSE, the Exchange for Entrepreneurs.
Well, thank you for watching today. Again, a very special edition of #Finance. Today we'll do a video podcast, and I'm joined by a very special delegation, a special group of guests, Marlene Street Forrest, Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, and Ian McNaughton, the Chairman of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And they're here for a very special reason at the top of First Canadian Place on the 72nd floor at the CSE, here at the CSE Media Center. And I'll ask you, Marlene, to start the discussion. What brings you here today all the way from Jamaica?
Well, this today is a historic day. We come to Canada because we are signing the memorandum of understanding between the Canadian Securities Exchange and the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And this is coming from a long while in the making, and we're just pleased that we could do this today.
Right. Ian, anything you want to add on that front?
No, actually, she pretty much said it all, but I can tell you I'm very excited to be here because the fact is that Jamaica Stock Exchange, a small exchange in terms of volume of transactions, is seen as a worthwhile partner for a large exchange like Canadian Securities Exchange. And, you know, we're very honored to be part of this.
Right. And what impact do you see this collaboration having on your business? What collaborations do you want to see with the exchange that you think can help enhance what you guys offer as a marketplace?
The fact is that in respect to having a partner like the Canadian Securities Exchange, what it will do, it is opening up the room for more investors to look at the Jamaica Stock Exchange, to look at the CSE as well, and to invest in securities on these markets.
Right. And can we talk a bit more about the investors that are in your market now and what opportunities they're looking for, and perhaps how this collaboration can help draw them maybe to new opportunities and create more wealth?
Well, and I'll start off. The fact is that the Jamaican market for investors is pretty small. Mm-hmm. So a collaboration like this will allow a wider scale for investors to have a wider market to access. Right. And that will enhance their capabilities or their capacity to actually, you know, get more funding, more investment or investors into their business and enhance their capacities.
Absolutely.
And for the investors, it's really building on the portfolio that they have now. You know, the portfolio would be naturally Jamaica security heavy. And so with the liquidity that is in the Jamaica market as well, the investors now are having greater choices. So they would now look at securities that are listed on the CSE to hold into their portfolio as well.
Absolutely. And the companies themselves that come from Jamaica that perhaps get started in Jamaica, list on your exchange, and then want to branch out more globally, perhaps through this MOU, we'll see more companies from Jamaica. Do you see some of that benefit happening? Do you see this being a bridge into the Canadian market for these corporate issuers?
Precisely. We believe that the companies in Jamaica that also want a global footprint into other markets like Canada will see this now as a worthwhile move. And the fact that we have this MOU, the companies will come to us, we will encourage them, speak with the CSE, help to bridge that relationship in terms of how they qualify to list on your market. It will be exciting, really, really exciting.
And in addition to that, right, there's a huge market of Jamaicans who are in Canada, right, who will have the capability to actually access Jamaican companies through this facility. And you know that is an exciting potential that we see from this MOU.
Absolutely. And maybe can you just dive a little deeper into the qualifications your exchange has for corporate issuers? What are some of the key benchmarks they need to meet to enter your market?
Okay, so in order for a company to list on our market, and let us consider it is an initial public offering,
Of course.
they would have to prepare a prospectus. This will have to be reviewed by the stock exchange, reviewed by our Financial Services Commission and the Companies Office of Jamaica. Having reviewed that and getting a no objection letter, the company also would have, in terms of their prospectus and qualifying, have 5 years audited financial statements. Now, if the company is younger, naturally, it's what they have. But the company will have to have 5 years audited financial statement, a board of directors, showing the balance between independent and non-independent directors, a remuneration committee, an audit committee. So the issue of corporate governance is really, really underscored in terms of listing on our exchange. There are timelines for the opening and closing of the offer, after which we would have what is called our audit committee, or not our audit committee, it is called our listing committee, sorry. And the listing committee would look at all the documents in terms of the application for listing, the prospectus, whether the company now has a registrar to continue with the post-listing life, and all of that will be looked at to see whether they qualify. Having qualified, then they would be listed. And after listing, which is pre, then you have the post-listing requirements.
Of course. So very, very similar to what we see here in Canada.
Yes.
Very high level of entrance requirements, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the industries themselves that you see utilizing this ecosystem the most. I mean, I think there's a few obvious ones, but maybe I'll let you guys speak to that.
I'll start. The obvious one is the cannabis.
Right.
Cannabis industry, and what this does is that it opens the door for cannabis companies to actually participate in the capital market. Okay. That is something that, and we know the obvious issues surrounding that, but we have to find ways to get this to work. And this is the first step in terms of actually having that type of facility in an environment that is very amenable to cannabis industry, which is
contrary to popular belief. Jamaica is not freely listing cannabis companies, or what's the distinction there?
Well,
we have no company as yet.
We'll have none, but the
that
issue
lists cannabis, for cannabis listing.
Understood.
But we are expecting that will, based on the regulations, be sorted out. But the opportunity that I see too is that CSE has many cannabis listings, and those could be cross-listed also in our market,
right?
To, for greater effect.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
Now, we touched on it, but this marketplace at JSE has a long history. It's much longer than ours here at CSE. It's 50 years strong.
Yes.
That's the slogan.
Yes.
Can you explain what has brought you guys through to that point? What are the ethic, or what is what have you guys done through these 50 years to get to this point, and then how do you want to build on that over the next 50?
You start.
Okay.
What do you credit for your success, I guess is what I should say.
It is the fact that our tagline is a fair, efficient, and transparent market. And while some companies might have a tagline, we live it. So we always want to engender confidence in our market. So our regulatory mechanism is very robust. We are regulated by the Financial Services Commission, but we are also self-regulated through our Regulatory and Market Oversight Division. And we have moved over the years to ensure more robust regulation. We demutualized, and that again was to ensure that there's confidence in the stock exchange. Now, we must credit our staff. Our staff is really a team that build on. We're very excited about new ideas. We look at them well and ensure that they fit within what we are doing. And we work as a team to ensure that these ideas come to life. We look out too. So we have we always say for the stock exchange that we might be residing in Jamaica, but our look is outward.
Right.
So these are some of the factors.
And what she did not mention is the fact that the board of directors of the stock exchange, Jamaica Stock Exchange, is very, very strong. And apart from being a strong board, which manages to ensure that corporate governance requirements are, managed effectively, it's also a very enabling board. It enables the stock exchange, the management, to actually manage, and the oversight provided really provides for the accelerated growth of the exchange because of that.
That balance of flexibility, but also regulatory security insight to make sure that everything stays on the track.
That is correct.
So everyone can go forward.
Yes.
That's fantastic. So my last question for you is, how can people stay up to date on the JSE, what you guys are doing? What are the best ways to interact with you online, perhaps?
Okay, so we have our website, which is www.jamstockex.com. A great amount of information is there. We also have our mobile apps, which people can come to look at what we're doing. Yes.
Right, and I also vouch for your Instagram account. Lots of followers, and there's a reason for that. It's updated all the time. It's actually quite entertaining, but also very informative.
Yes.
Okay, well, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. And for those watching today on CSE TV, please subscribe. We do about 2 of these a week. And just as you saw today, great content, awesome guests. If you're listening on Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, again, subscribe. We're doing about 2 #Finance podcasts a week. Once again, I want to thank you. And we're going to close the show with a special song, the 50-year anniversry JSE jingle. So enjoy. Thanks again for watching. Thank you again for visiting us. And have a wonderful day.
50 years of practicing transparency, integrity, and efficiency to protect and advance stakeholders' welfare. Jamaica Stock Exchange. JSE for you and me. Come celebrate our 50th anniversary. Benefit by listing and investing. Jamaica Stock Exchange, celebrating 50 years.
Hi, it's Grace from the CSE reminding you to make sure to follow us on social media for the latest updates on our listed companies as well as new listing alerts. For more in-depth content, be sure to pick up our free quarterly magazine, Public Entrepreneur, available online at thecse.com.